Progtime, the Layered Reality YouTube show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Progtime. It is the end of April on a Tuesday of all places because, well, we didn't really have a Wednesday to close this month off on, so what are you gonna do? The news segment today is gonna be very, very quick. There's only two things I want to shout out, so I'm gonna do that, but then we're gonna go to new content from Lauren, Dennis, James, and Professor Rowan, who is back. We got him out of his laboratory, and we're quite happy to have him back. Let's just say it as it is. But first, the news. First up, for those of you who missed it, last week, the guys from 7 Station released an awesome live video for the song A Final Bow, which you should check out after this Progtime featurette. I mean, you could also check it out now, but then I'm just kind of talking to no one, and that would be awkward for all of us. Yeah. And that live video also coincides with the fact that the band is playing live right now. Check out their social pages to see where they are playing and if you can make it, because they would love you very much if you did, of course. Also, hi, Future Tom here from a Messy Studio. I just wanted to say that Hetethemeth released the first 2 songs of their brand new live album Telluric Nights yesterday, which is like Monday the 29th of April, also here on our YouTube channel. You should check it out. It's going to make your life better. And I can totally not back this claim up, but I honestly feel that it would. So do that. Okay, back to the regular show. And that's all the news from me for now. Very short. I know. I'm very aware that is very short, but you know, sometimes short is sweet. And we got a lot of cool content anyway. So next up is Lauren with her segment, Is It Supposed to Sound Like That? Let's go!
Supposed to sound like that? Oh, okay. Hey everybody, it's Lauren Holly from Layered Reality Productions, and I'm back again with this month's review of a prog metal album for you non-prog metal listeners that I think you should get involved with. And after the day I've had at work today, this album and this band absolutely is category hands down one to listen to. If you like to do what I call rage clean, or just rage, because every single person that you've dealt with is a complete muppet and you need to get out something. And that band is Protest the Hero from Whitby, Ontario, Canada. And the album that I'm talking about today, it's called Palimpsest. I think that's how you say it. It looks like, yeah, Palimpist, I think. Anyway, this is their 5th studio album. Actually was recorded in 2019 and I believe released in 2020. So this would be right around when Donald Trump was coming into power. And actually, if you take a look at what this album is about, it is a lot about our American cousins. The singer of this band, who I 100% believe if Geddy Lee actually sang for a hardcore post-punk thrash type Rush, would sound exactly like Roddy Walker. That's how actually it should sound. It's amazing. The guy has clean vocals, growly vocals, and it's just fast as like really fast. He stated this album was not necessarily intended to bash his American cousins, because there are elements in the album that he is singing about that actually are pertaining to great aspects of American history, things that have happened in America that a lot of people seem to forget, because a lot of the American perceived greatness at the time that this was written was Donald Trump coming into power, MAGA, all that sort of stuff, which only really helped you if you were rich, white, and a man. Some of the songs that they are singing about, they've got Amelia Earhart, they've got the Hindenburg disaster, which, okay, is not necessarily a great thing, but it did happen and it is a bit of American history. Songs about John Dillinger, and my personal favorite, which is From the Sky. And, it's a great song, and it's so fast and so thrashy and so techy at the beginning. But again, like a lot of the stuff I've been talking about, it descends into something completely different in the midpoint and the ending towards the song, which, when I first heard it, I thought the emo kid in me was probably screaming, because it did get to that point. It felt like a little bit quiet, lovely little emo-y sad moment. And it was great. If you want to get into something that's a little bit different, that is not necessarily the huge running song lengths and massive, ridiculous time changes that obviously is perceived with a lot of prog metal, then I suggest that you check out this particular album and this particular band, which is Protest the Hero. Check out this album or the previous 4 albums from this band, and I swear you will enjoy this because it is something special. So, until next time on Progtime, I'll see you later. Bye.
Hello there! Today I'm talking about an EP that came out 2 years ago from Lucifer's Child and Mystifier. Both bands that delve into black metal and Black Death. This release is 6 tracks long. It's 33 minutes and 6 seconds long. Normally black metal, at least for me, often sounds harsh or rather cheap sound-wise. Wall of sound and screechy vocals, all to maximize shock effect and evoke an otherworldly feel to it. Both of the bands on this split EP are different and approach things more in a very melodic and kind of progressive kind of way. So what stands out the most? Both Mystifiers Worship Her, Samael cover that takes 6 minutes and 55 seconds, and Nova Tenebris of Lucifer's Child that comes down to 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Those stand out because they're very, very long and because there's much atmosphere to them. Why do I think prog lovers will like this EP? The overall approach of both bands is grounded in producing an occult feel to the music by creating the most atmospheric black metal they possibly can. This results in fantastic soundscapes that really pack a punch. It's like little boxes hiding in bigger boxes, so say song-in-song structures, bridges, and massive guitar riffs and solos, and it's black metal, but it is very much grounded in traditional metal, and I even think I detected some classic melody lines of bands that are more akin to the new wave of British heavy metal. That is all about melodies and atmosphere. So check this out. I thought it was great and kind of progressive, so to say. So just check it out and tell us what you think of it.
Hey everyone, James Delbridge from Lycanthro here once again on Progtime to bring you another powerful, proggy, and weird band from the land of the rising sun. I hope last month you guys enjoyed the absolute mind that was Gashirik's Spin, and I hope you guys really got something out of their music. But this time I want to shed some light on a Japanese band that most people in the power symphonic prog community will know, but they're a band that I feel deserves way more recognition than they have outside of their native Japan. I'm of course talking about the immortal Galneryus. Galneryus are a progressive power metal band founded in Osaka in 2001 by lead guitar player Shu and original vocalist Yamabi. They started off as just a 2-man recording project, but then quickly gained lots of steam in the Japanese metal underground, but they didn't start to gain more international recognition until around 2010, when original vocalist Yamabi left the band and the monstrous Masatoshi Ono took his place for the album Resurrection. And ever since then, the band has been in what many consider to be their classic or best lineup. And I think prog fans will very much enjoy this band because they're very reminiscent of a lot of the late 90s, early 2000s progressive power bands like Seventh Wonder, Symphony X, but then combining that with the sort of neoclassical shred that you'd get from someone like an Yngwie Malmsteen or a Marty Friedman. Heck, I'd even say Shu, I think, is like pretty much the Japanese equivalent of Yngwie Malmsteen, although can play faster and is way better in general. And no, I'm not joking. In terms of recommendations, I will always tell people to start off with their 2012 masterpiece, the Angel of Salvation album. This album is an absolute masterclass in everything from progressive power metal to neoclassical shred,
and I personally think that the title track is one of the greatest power metal epics ever written. And unlike a lot of the bands that I've featured on this show, I've actually gotten to see Galneryus live. I saw them at the 2019 edition of Prog Power USA, and that's actually where I got this shirt of theirs. And needless to say, they completely stole the festival, absolutely no contest. But the funniest part of it is, I actually ended up meeting lead guitar player Shu and keyboard player Yuki outside of my hotel of all places. I remember going up to them and sheepishly asking them, "Hey, are you guys from Galneryus?" And then they seemed so genuinely surprised and so grateful that someone recognized them, because it seemed like they didn't think that they were as big as they actually are outside of Japan. But overall, it was a great experience. And as you can see in this photo here, Shu was taking really, really great photos and was doing stupid as hell faces in every single one of everyone's photos throughout the entire weekend. So overall, it was a great time, and I really hope I can see them again in the future because they were amazing. And to cap things off, as one more aside, if you decide to go check out Galneryus' music and you find yourself thinking, this sounds pretty familiar, is because this band has lent several tracks to the hit anime Hunter x Hunter. And most notably, and arguably their most famous song of all time, Hunting for Your Dream. And it's another song that is also on this album right here. More the reason why you should start with this one. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning into Tokyo Tunes on Progtime once again here. And as usual, give LRP a subscribe. And I hope you guys will tune in next month. And yeah, stay metal, my friends.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Progtime. I am Progfessor Rowan, and welcome back to my laboratory. This month has been filled with amazing new releases. The lab is backed up. They keep coming thick and strong, so let's talk about the pick of the litter. My leading contender for Album of the Year thus far, the band is called Shadowpath. They've just released their second album, The Aeon Discordance, on March 10th. Why am I already calling it a possible album of the year? I've listened to it 35 or 40 times in the month since its release, and those numbers don't lie. People like me, I'm just kidding. There are no people like me, who are impressed with their 2017 debut album, Rumors of a Coming Dawn, have had a long 7-year wait on their hands. It's impossible to elucidate Shadowpath's unique stylistic blend by means of comparisons or a recommendation for fans of. It's not just me, I've solicited suggestions, but to no avail. Let's talk a bit about the album's 15-minute and 40-second opening track, The Lifeline Economy. Until you're 7 to 9 minutes deep into the song, it's not possible to tell precisely what kind of album this is. There are passages that recall a slightly faster version of classic My Dying Bride, avant-garde elements, reminiscent of Maine's, Ulver, symphonic and symphonic death metal, and then it becomes clear that you're listening to an album that's fundamentally prog, without sounding at all like what the term prog metal customarily calls to mind. What we have on our hands here is a chimerical creature, fundamentally progressive metal, that produces a symphonic wall of sound, blending in elements of melodic death, power, and avant-garde subgenres, all to create a unique hybrid style. Their genre-bending and blending style is reflected in the composition of the album and the individual songs, which are markedly complex and unpredictable. Between one song and the next, there's always both continuity and contrast. Shadowpath features 2 vocalists, one male and the other female, both of whom growl and sing, the former of whom plays keyboards, and as I understand, is the principal songwriter in the band. The musicianship, as a whole, is nothing short of top-notch. One of Shadowpath's signature moves on this album lies in bringing each song to an intense climactic culmination, and each time in a different, surprising manner. Everything from beautifully sweeping solos to a song that builds up into a black metal blast beat blowout finish. This is music for both the brain and the heart. It'll move you, but in perhaps an unfamiliar, abstract sort of way. Regardless of your particular stylistic predilections, I would say go get this album right the now. I say would, because their web shop at the moment only ships to Switzerland and Liechtenstein. If you happen to be watching from some alpine hideout, yes, get it now. Everyone else, give the Aeon Discordance a spin post-haste. You will not regret it.